Page 10, Spanish Eyes. At the top of the page, introducing some new notes for you to learn and memorize forever. I don't really teach music reading per se. I leave it up to you to just memorize those notes. You have a B, that's below middle C. I'm talking the treble clef here. It's right below, middle C is a ledger line. A ledger line are those little lines above or below a staff so you can have more notes. Those are ledger lines. Well, you've been using a ledger line all along because middle C is on a line, so that's, and the B is right below that line, so it's just one note down. Just know that's a B. And for the G, well, the top line on treble clef is an F, so the space above it has to be a G, and the first ledger line then would be an A. So you got a ledger line below treble clef is middle C, and a ledger line above treble clef is an A. Makes sense, don't it? Okay, whatever. And then for the bass clef, they got the F, the bottom space below the clef, and then the bottom line is a G, A. Just memorize them as best you can. Drill yourself over and over if you have to, but just memorize these note names and where they are on the keyboard. Now for Spanish Eyes. Common time or 4/4 time. No sharps or flats. We're in the key of C major. Right hand first. Let's just see what we got going on here. We got a 1-3. And that whole note is tied to a half note. You're going to hold it down for 6 counts. Oh, isn't that lovely? And then the second measure is 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and connect them. This is good practice. You don't have to go that fast. You only have to go. You should do it in both hands here. I had a terrible time with this when I was little and trying to learn to do this. My fingers wouldn't cooperate. I had to just get ready with the next one, and then get ready with the next one, and just real slow. And then over time, as in years, it gradually got a little less difficult until actually it's kind of easy now. And that's what we're doing here on this. Here, okay? And then for the second line, well, you have a rest at the end of the first line. You come up. 1 and 2 and this rhythm. First eighth notes on 1. And then you don't get anything on 2. It's between notes. And the 3 is the G. 1 and 2 and 3. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. I'm hoping you can figure these rhythms out yourself. The mistake people make is they'll say, well, play it for me, let me hear it. Then I'll get it. And no. You need to be able to read the music yourself and figure it out yourself. Then you can compare it to what other people are doing. But you get it first, now that I've already played it for you. And then bring the thumb under. You have to be able to do this, so yeah. And then the B and the F are tied. You're going to hold those down for 7 counts, and then a rest, and during the rest you come back down here. It's a B, that's our new note, B and then a rest, and then the first line, last measure, 1 and 2. It's not the same rhythm as you had before. 1 and 2 and 3. And then cross the thumb under. Bring the thumb down for G here. And during the rest, you come back down. You do that some more. Let's go down the next line. Third measure, 1 and 2. Now, not fourth here, now thumb. They want thumb. And then a B flat. And come up, they say squeeze. We'll just come up together. And thumb on the C. Here, that way you got 3 and 5, just reach up here. Here. And then a rest, and then 1, 4 for the C, B flat, or A flat. This is one of your new notes. If you know what an A is, you know what an A flat is. And then they're saying 3, 5. They're saying bring the 5th finger under the 4th. So you can connect that. That's actually a common move in piano playing. It's not exactly a beginner move, but you're getting up, this is advanced beginner or early intermediate music here, and so it's time maybe you learn to do that. We want to connect the top note. The other note, you connect it if you can, otherwise don't worry about it. But that's melody here, here, and then here. That's awkward. It's the 1-4, and then a 2-5, and then a 1-4 again, and then a 2-3. I can connect them all just fine. So that's what I recommend you try. Now, I find that you get this kind of thing a lot in piano, and I recommend you try this because it will certainly come in handy. We want to try and play things legato and feel it with the fingers as best we can, and this way we can do this. I can connect both of those voices together quite easily that way. And then going on, 1 and 2. The last measure there, that chord is a D, an E, and a G. Okay? Left hand at the beginning of this rhythm. Now you're not in this position, you're actually in this position. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And to the last measure of that line, it changes. 1 and 2 and 3. So you get both of these. We had these rhythms in the right hand, but the left hand is getting. And then you can stay on 5 and 2. And then for the last two measures of page 10, you just simply lift up and come down. It's the same rhythm, same type of pattern, except you're in a G position. Until the second line on page 11, now you come back up to C. Fourth line, go down to F. And the last measure of the fourth line, you just lift up. Because you end next to the last measure. The fourth line is here. Then just here. That's fine. Let's put the hands together. What do we get? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now be careful because at the end of the first line you're in the G and you got to play the G again in the next line. It's a little tricky if you're not ready for it. So the second line is So you put the hands together as best you can, and then we go back and we can add in the phrasing. This is for the melody. You get rest between the phrases, so you have to lift up, so that's fine. Otherwise, you play it all connected. The left hand, you can just play it all connected. You don't have to separate each measure. No, just connect it. That's a little fast, but the point is just play it all pretty much legato. And add the dynamics. Now the P looks like it's applying more to the bottom staff, but that's because they put words in there, and that's where they just put it. It applies to the melody, and the melody is the top note in the right hand. That's soft. Everything else is very soft. Now if you can't bring out one note, then play both notes the same, but play the left hand very soft. There's a crescendo in the second line. You're going to go on up to moderately loud, the MF here, soft, loud, that's moderately loud. Everything else is soft. Then top of page 11, you're back to soft again. Line, you get a crescendo, you're going to go back up to moderately loud. There, that note is moderately loud. Soft. Third line down in the middle, you get a crescendo again, and take your time on this crescendo. You're going to go up to a loud at the beginning of the next line. When you get here, that's loud. So don't get loud till then. Take your time on it. See right here, I might be moderately soft, moderately loud, now loud. And the left hand can go up a little bit, but keep it soft. And then all of a sudden you're soft. And then the last line, you come up to moderately loud. Now there's no crescendo. You just, all of a sudden you're moderately loud. So you're starting at this soft, the last line, start as soft. Now, and at the end, now crescendo in the left hand. You can't crescendo on the right. You played the note, you're done. So, and at the end, both ends are the same. Loud. I don't know why it's loud, but it is. And they put two neutrals on it, so hold it out, linger on that. Just maybe a hair longer than 4 counts. Just, you know, whatever. Speed-wise, well, tempo of a tango. Well, how fast does a tango go? I mean, you can get recordings of this. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'll give us 4 counts. Let's just check it. You can play it one hand at a time with me for a while if you need to. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 2. 1 and 2. One 3, 4, off.